Hey y'all, it's Barbra Hershey-Squirts here. Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts. I'm taking over. Conservative nerd, he got a timeout because he was very rude yesterday, and I thought his video was very problematic. You can't be telling people that they're the C word. He said, "Come." Oh my gosh. Ooh, that word triggers me. I have PTSD. I had PTSD from watching his video. It was so triggering. He said the C word. Listen, he's just suffering from toxic male masculinity. You know how they are. They're rotten. They get all mad and stuff, and they say things. It's like, you need to stop being so toxic. So I put him in the corner, and I'm going to take over this whole thing. I'm going to review some comics. I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts. Now, there's some controversy about if a man in a wig is racist or a racial slur. Guess what? It is, y'all. Listen, I'm not a man in a wig. I am a trans woman. Okay? If a man should just put on a wig and be a trans woman or be trans, if it was just a man in a wig, then anybody could do it. Conservative nerd could just throw on a wig and some makeup and he could come out here and do this. But he can't. Because he has toxic masculinity. You have to be born trans to be trans. He wouldn't be fabulous. He wouldn't look this good. He wouldn't have these sweet titties. No, it'd just be a guy in a wig. But it's not a guy in a wig. It's Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. I am a trans woman. That's why a man in a wig is a slur. Because I'm not a man in a wig. Anybody see me, they're going to go, that's a woman. Because I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts. Okay? I live in a dumpster. I think more people should live in the dumpster and then they know how it is to be trans. You would know, but you don't. You just go around raping people. I get raped like 9,000 times a day. You know what that's like? That's horrifying. 9,000 times a day. Anybody says anything to me, guess what? That's rape. If you look at me funny, that's rape. That's how it is to be trans. It's horrible. It's horrifying. Imagine if you got raped every second of the day. It's terrible. I want to apologize to anybody who was offended by that video he did yesterday, because it was a horrible thing. You can't say the C word. You can't say God. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You just can't say it. It's a terrible word. And you can't talk about Chef Jack like that, because he's like one of the biggest, he's like the Martin Luther King of the trans movement. You know, he's a great man who's doing so much for the trans movement. So you just leave him alone, and I'm going to take over this channel. Because I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. Barbra Hershey-Squirts. Barbra Hershey-Squirts. Listen. I'm going to review some comics now. Okay? I can't read, y'all. So I just kind of look at the pictures and then guess what they're going to say. I just guess. I'm a really, really good guesser, though. I'm such a good guesser. I just guess, and it's like, oh, I guess you're right. I don't know if I guess right, but I know I guess right. I guess right, yeah. So, first up, I read this book called Moon Girl. I love this book. I love it because it's trans. I like this little trans girl. This little trans moon girl. And she's like smart. So I like that because I'm smart. Everybody knows how smart Barbra Hershey-Squirts is. And I like that. I wish, though, that Marvel, you should make it so she can't read or write. And she's still the smartest trans. She's still like the smartest person in the world. She's still trans. She just can't read or write. And people can go, you can't read? She'd be like, I'm the smartest person in the world. Who cares if I can read? That would be awesome. I would love that. Do that. Do that now. This was a good book. Because I just like trans people. Okay, the next book I read was Superman. Oh my gosh. This is a rape book. Okay? This book is about rape. Superman just goes around raping people. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Superman, he like shows up and these people are like, hey Superman, don't rape us. And he's like, I rape people because I'm Superman. And then he goes and rapes a building. And then I passed out. I didn't even finish it because I just passed out. I just, oh my gosh. And then I just was down and I was out. And I called the police and I was like, Superman just raped me. And they were like, stop calling us. Because they're a bunch of sissies. Bunch of cis males. They don't know what it's like to be raped by Superman. They were like, throw it in the trash and stop reading it if it's so bad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't know. Oh my gosh, you just don't know. Unless you've been trans, you don't know. Unless you have to live in dumpsters, you don't know. Marvel, I'm so glad you don't publish stuff like Superman. Most of your books are so, I like them because they're trans. Like, I like trans Thor. I like trans Captain Marvel. That's so trans. Everything. I like trans Kamala, Miss Marvel with trans Kamala Khan. I like all your trans characters. You got so many trans characters. And that's what's so good about Marvel, is the trans representation. DC doesn't have any trans. I was like, where's your trans? It's just a bunch of rapers. It's just rape. It's just rape books. You should change your name to Rape Books. RB instead of DC. Because you rape people. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. Listen. Don't worry about that toxic male masculinity you dealt with. Because I'm taking over, y'all. I'm going to do reviews. Sure, I can't read. But you know what? I should be a character. You know, I should write Marvel. Because I've noticed that you don't have any trans characters in Marvel that can't read or write. That would be a great character. And then like to make them the smartest person in the world and they can't read or write. Think of the struggles they have to go through. Think of the struggles of Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. Think of the struggles I go through not being able to read or write. Think of the struggles I go through living in the dumpster. People throw trash at me. I'll be sleeping and somebody throws trash at me and I'll be like, this is my house. And they'll be like, this is my dumpster. And then they call the cops and I go to jail and I have to find a new dumpster to live in. That's the life of Barbra Hershey-Squirts, y'all. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. Be silly and do it. I might read it. If I learn how to read in the next hour or so, I don't know. I gotta go back to the dumpster. You guys have a beautiful day. And enjoy the transness of the world. Because like I said, I'm a woman. Like, there's no way a guy could just put on a wig and be this womanly. It just, you can't do that. That's impossible. If that was possible, then Conservative Nerd wouldn't have to pick me up from my dumpster, bring me here, and then let me do his videos for him. He would just put on a wig and put on some makeup, and then he would be trans. But he can't be trans because he wasn't born trans. You have to be born trans. You can't just put on a wig and be trans. It doesn't work like that. People need to be educated. See, I'm here to educate you. And you think, oh, because I can't read, I can't educate you? I can educate you. I can educate the whole world. I'm going to be educating everybody. Just with videos about how to be trans. Well, you have to be born trans. You can't just be trans. You can't just, oh, I'm a trans. No, and because who in the world waits till they're like 20 or 30 or 40 to be trans? It's never happened. If that happened, then I'd be like, okay, well, then just anybody can put on a wig and be trans. If that actually happened. If somebody was like 30 and had kids and then said, oh, guess what, I'm trans, and became trans, then I'd say, okay, it's just a man in a wig. But that's never happened. Ever. In the history of transness, that's never happened. I'm Barbra Hershey-Squirts. You guys have a great day. Stay fabulous. Barbra Hershey-Squirts. Peace.